the other area that I see so often, and we make the kids go back to the barn, and they have to, when they come to a rally, they have to come with extra equipment, and they have to come with an extra set of stirrup leathers, because these wear out. You could be you're excellent at cleaning tack, but over time, this is just going to wear out. That stitching just starts to wear out and fray, and you can actually, if you were to look at it, it would be halfway. So very, very important as instructors that this is kept all stitched up. And it doesn't mean they have to get a new pair. You can take it into the saddler. You can stitch it yourself. I've done that a couple times with dental floss when needed. Okay. And then I guess the stirrup iron. The stirrup iron just has to fit the foot. And it's hard for me to tell until she's on the horse. So many times after an inspection like this, then I'll have her mount up, help her if needed, and then I can check to make sure that her foot, that this is not too small, okay? So there should be about 1 inch, so 1/2 inch on each side approximately for the stirrup iron. Okay, so that's really important. Check all those things. Check here. This is where you'll get a lot of silver because from the stirrup iron will cake on. This is where it's going to crack. This is the point. It's called the stress point. And so it's a really good, after a lesson or two, showing kids that that's what they want to clean because that's where it's going to crack. But checking that also on a safety check doesn't hurt to look. And I can tell that the tack is wonderful. Okay, underneath, they should have a billet guard. The only time you won't, this is called a billet guard, the only time you won't have a billet guard is when it's got the long billets and they're way down here. You tend not to have them, so on some of your dressage saddles. And the billet guard just helps protect so you don't get all the marks here coming through to the leg. Now, this one has 4 billets. That's way cool. I haven't seen one with 4 billets. But I don't have them, but that's really cool. Okay. But I'm going to assume that it's still the first billet. It's usually the one that goes all the way across, so you go to the first one. And then just depending on fitting it to the horse, whether you'd use the second or third or fourth in this case. That's really cool. All right. Okay, while I'm over on this side, he's got polo wraps on. And again, kids come, they love to do things. They love to wrap the color purple. How exciting to be able to wrap my horse with purple wraps. I mean, that's really exciting. So we do check. We now have at the D level, which is our lowest level, they can wrap with polo wraps, or we're finally testing that now because the kids are playing polo and polo cross and using them. So you need to teach then so they do it correctly. And so again, the polo wraps, and I probably would ask my students, why did you put those on today? Because maybe you were going to practice cross country and go through a water jump. Well, then those wouldn't be appropriate, so we'd have to talk about that to remove them. But on the wraps, again, just I don't know at some point whether Colleen goes over that or wraps. I don't know. Okay, so just, the basics is that you need to understand where to wrap. And these really, these aren't very stretchy. They're polo wraps, so they're not very stretchy. So my concern is that they're not going to constrict. I mean, you have to really pull these. I can tell these are, they're not real stretchy. And they've got them good. They're right below the knee. And there's 2 ways to do them. Either you do this where you come below the fetlock, and you can do a double cup here, or some people will stop right here, kind of like on a stable or standing bandage. But this is probably the most common. So those feel good. Again, I guess as the instructor, you would just go around and make sure that they weren't missing anything and that they all felt good, tight. They're going to stay on. Okay. All right. Let's see. Cleanliness. I'm not going to worry about that too much, but again, if you wanted to check the dock and the sheath, or if you noticed anything, it's okay to comment. I guess on the horse's shoe or feet, as an instructor, you need to at least pay attention because they may not know. And they may not have realized, or they forgot to pick out the feet and they only have 3 shoes on today. Or that the hoof is way out here, or it's cracked. Can they be barefoot? Yes, of course. It just depends what you're doing, what event they're doing, or what kind of footing they're riding on. So, and every horse is different. So these guys are great, and they have big, tough feet, so don't need to put shoes on them, unless he's on the road, probably. Okay. Oh, I know, I forgot one, because it looks so good. Turn that way just a hair, please. Okay, so on the stitching, can you get this replaced, do you think? Ah, yes. Yes, I've had many replaced over the years. You just have to have someone willing to do it, though. Not every I don't know, leather shop wants to do that, but if you ask a saddlery near you, they may be able to tell you someone to send it to. But I have had the elastic replaced. Brand new, looks great, because it does wear. So be aware of that.